This lesson we're going to be using a sort of a jazz rock fusion-y type rhythm. It sounds like this. And I'm using A minor 7th and a D 9th chord. Now, the main thing to realize is, with this type of chord, you're going to have to be able to change rather quickly from A minor 7th to D 9th, and you're going to have your fingers quite stable because you're going to be doing a slide. In other words, you drop the A minor 7th back a fret, and when you hit the chord, you slide upwards. You keep pressing down, and you slide your fingers over that 4th fret to the 5th fret, and the same with the D 9th. So you want to make sure that you can do that comfortably without your fingers sort of moving and wobbling around or falling apart on you. So if you can do that, we can go on and do the rhythm. Another thing too is when you do a downstroke on that slide, like this, your right hand doesn't stay down beneath the strings. It comes up at exactly the same time. This way, your hand is oriented towards the rhythm, the beat. In other words, a downstroke will be on the beat and an upstroke will be off the beat. If you leave your hand down there, your next stroke will be counter to where you want it to be with regard to the beat. So it's, and I call this a compensation, a rhythmic compensation. So if you slide, bring your hand in exactly the same time, not a split second after, but at the same time, like that. So you may want to practice that first. Now, this is a very difficult rhythm, and for purposes of demonstration, I'm bringing my right hand near the chord, and I'll be strumming on the neck. Here we go. We start off with a downstroke. Our chord is back on the 4th fret, and we do a downstroke, and as we slide up, we bring the pick up with it, but we don't hit the strings. So really the chord is sounded by sliding the left hand, not by actually striking the strings with the pick. So we have 1 and then on the count of 2, we go down and miss the strings. So we have 2, 1 and 2. It feels awkward not actually hitting the strings, but you have to do this. So it's 1 and 2, and then on the and after 2, we hit the strings with an upstroke, and then down on 3. So we have 1 and 2, miss, and 3. So there's our sort of first stage we have to get to. Sped up a little bit. Again, 1 and 2 and 3. One more time. Now we left off with the downstroke on the 3rd beat. Once again, 1 and 2, miss, and 3. Now, after that downstroke on 3, we simply do this. We lift the chord off and do an up-down mute. So it's 3, like that. And we have a stream of them. We press a total of 4 times. From the 3, I'll just show you. It's like that again. You can almost count the presses. This isn't, of course, in time with the numbers of the beats, but I'll count 4 presses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Now, once again, I'm on the 3rd beat. It's a downstroke, and I lift, and I do an up, downstroke muted, then I press on the next upstroke, then I do a down-up muted, then I press again on this downstroke, I do an up-down muted, and then for my last press, I do an upstroke, and then I do a down-up muted. And that takes us to the end of what we need to do with this chord. Here's the whole thing. Again. Now if you can do that, you've essentially got the rhythm. So after that last muted down up, you switch to the D ninth shape, but drag it back a bit to the 4th fret and simply repeat the same rhythm. Try not to hit the 6th string though with the pick. And then back again. Now you may want to put in an extra note with your little finger once you can do this rhythm comfortably, and that note is a B on the 7th fret of the 1st string. Just listen to the chord. Gives you a very nice jazzy A minor 9th chord. And then here we have a nice D 9th with the B added there, and that gives us another nice effect. Just adds a bit of color, but you can experiment with things like just try throwing it in, and whenever you press is where you would place that note. So it's a very difficult rhythm to try and master. Good luck with it. Practice it as hard as you can, and try putting in your little finger when you've got those chords down. This is what it sounds like. And without the little finger,